Hi, my name is Easton Snyder. I'm one of the process consultants here at Traction. Today's video, we're going to be going over the supply chain solution that Traction provides. In this solution, we have the opportunity to give you guys detailed breakdowns as to how your inventory is being managed, where parts are going, how they're entering and exiting your facility, as well as any purchasing information such as purchase recs and purchase orders. For those of you who are new to Traction, Traction is a one-stop shop for all of your asset reliability needs. We provide vibration sensors to get predictive maintenance on assets, health score on assets, and give detailed insights to what could be going wrong at any given time. We have a CMMS solution that gives you the opportunity to manage all of your corrective and preventative maintenance integrated directly to that vibrations monitoring solution. And we've got a supply chain module where we can actually get detailed breakdowns of our inventory, how that inventory is affecting our bill of materials, our assets, and our overall reliability. We're going to start today's presentation on the warehouse section of our solution. The warehouse section allows me to see where parts are physically stored within my inventory at any given time. I can see if a single part is stored within multiple facilities or how many parts I've got in any particular warehouse. A warehouse in this case is simply a location, a breakdown, a facility that you have parts stored within. As I click into any of these parts and start getting more of a detailed view of that part, I can very quickly identify what the current balance of this component is. How many we've got in stock, how many are reserved to work orders, as well as how many are available for emergency work at any given moment. This can all be live and updated from my mobile phone or from my web-based solution, ensuring that I've always got accurate assessments to how many parts are going to be in my inventory at any given time. Additionally, if a part is in multiple locations and I need to see where else it might be stored, I have the opportunity to see all locations the part is stored within, and I can set up mins, maxes, and reorder points for these particular items in various warehouses. Once a reorder point is hit, I can get an alert that allows me or lets me know that I need to order new parts as soon as possible. Looking at some of the other information I've got within my item details, I can very quickly identify what the lead time of this part is. Once again, ensuring that I'm never going to have any of the stock outages. In this case, if a part's going to take 27 days to receive, I need to make sure I have enough on hand at any given time for that potential breakdown. Additionally, I can break down these items by various categories such as consumables, non-consumables, components, and more, so we can get very detailed as to what we want to store within our warehouses or within our facilities at any given time. If I need to make adjustments to my inventory or transfer parts from one location to the other, I can navigate to the New Transactions tab. By selecting Transfer, I can actually take a part from one building, one location, or one facility and move it to another building within my company. The inventory adjustment allows me to manage any audits or additional parts that are coming in to my facility. And single entry allows me to add parts or remove parts from my inventory that follows a non-traditional process. Maybe if a purchase request or purchase order was not made for this particular part. Let's see some of the breakdown details that you get by navigating to any of these various areas. If I look at my transfers tab, I can see all of the parts that were moved from one facility to another facility within my solution. I can see when this happened, who requested it, what the cost center is associated with it, and get all the details I need to make sure we have informed, detailed logs of this part and of the history. By navigating over my transactions tab, I have more detailed views as to what is moving within my facility at any given point. I can see when parts have come in, when parts have been removed. I can see if it was withdrawn, ordered, if there is an inventory adjustment. Once again, ensuring that I have an accurate view as to what has happened to my stock, my inventory at any given point. Just like everything else I see in Traction, I have the opportunity to click on these to get very detailed views of other parts of my systems. For instance, if this was associated with a work order, I've got a detailed view to show me where that work order was, when it was completed, who completed it, etc. Let's start talking a little bit about purchasing. Purchase requests can be made from my web-based version, started on my mobile version, and I've got a detailed log as to when they were made, who made them, what's being requested, how many, what the cost center is, and more. To create a purchase request, I can simply click on the tab at the top, search for the item I'm looking for, or physically scan in that part if I'm at that physical location, and then I can assign any kind of priority or assignee to it who would approve this actual purchase requisition. Once a purchase requisition is created, it will start a purchase workflow or purchasing item within this tab here. From here, I can see the status of all purchase requisitions that are created, how many have been approved, how many have turned into work orders, what's the top priority, and what's the request date of these. Once they're approved and a purchase order is created, I can actually see the associated information for that purchase request to the purchase order. Once again, just like before, all of my blue fields here are interactive. I can click on these and learn more about that, get more detailed breakdown views of it. Lastly, for purchasing, my purchase order screen gives me the opportunity to see the status of all purchase orders that we have had within our facility. I can see which ones have been completed, i.e. we've received all the parts, which ones we've issued, and what items might only have a partial confirmation for the purchase order. In other words, 1 or 2 of the items have been received, but we're still waiting for other items to come to the facility. By opening up any of these purchase orders, I can actually print off this in a standardized format so that this can be provided to your vendor, ensuring that there's clear and concise communication between you and all of your vendors and all of your suppliers. Lastly, let's start talking about the integrations between our supply chain system and some of our other systems, such as our CMMS capabilities. First off, all of those reservations that we saw previously in the supply chain module, for those integrations, I can actually come to my CMMS and I can see all of the work orders that are taking reservations out of my supply chain. For instance, if I want to see this air compressor here, looks like I'm going to be replacing an air filter, and I can actually navigate to the work order that this is going to generate, see that an air filter is going to be reserved for this work order, and that's going to reflect directly in my supply chain solution. Similarly, if I navigate over to my work orders, I can see all of the items that are assigned to any of these work orders. Once again, you will see that this is actually going to be reflecting that this item is reserved, not withdrawn. But whenever this part needs to be withdrawn, I can go to my supply chain solution, I can scan it out with my mobile phone, and that's going to reflect entirely on this same work order here. If parts need to be added for any reason, I have the opportunity to scan parts, adding them in a bit more efficiently, or selecting parts from my entire repository. Lastly, as a single source of truth, I can see any of these parts on my asset tree or on my bill of materials. From my asset tree, I can see all of the parts associated with any of these assets. Simply by digging down, I can actually see what parts are assigned to this particular item or this asset. And I can see how many of them I have in stock at any given point. What this allows me to do is make detailed, quick decisions if a part is not in stock for emergency situations. Thank you for your time today. Once again, as an integrated system, the level of complexity you might need within your facility might be slightly different. We can come to you wherever you're at, make sure we're meeting your inventory needs, integrating with the systems that you need to integrate, and even talk about integrations with other systems such as other ERPs out there. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at traction.com. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you.